Oh, good afternoon. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now, May 15th, 2026. Fade to black, pitch black. To one of the greatest demons of Gaza, to the leader of Hamas, Israel has just eliminated the cornerstone of Hamas's military wing, Ezzedine al-Hassan. None other than one of the masterminds behind October 7th. Who now has to start thinking about who they are going to put in to replace Ezzedine al-Hassan in Gaza? Family, all the details, everything that's happening with exclusive footage here on Military Strategies. Let's get started. Oh! Good afternoon, family. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now. Images from Gaza, the elimination of the Hamas leader. There it is. Military Strategy. Oh, fade to black, pitch black. To the leader of the military wing of Hamas, the replacement for Yahya Sinwar, the mastermind of October 7th, the new leader. The replacement for this demon will never bother anyone again. They will no longer rape any more women. They will no longer attack any more people. They will no longer create chaos. In Israel, he will obviously be replaced. But this is a turning point. We have spent months searching for the leader of Hamas. Israel has done it. Images.
Military strategies. This is the city of Saraya, the construction of the framework of the framework.
This is tremendous. What we're seeing live right now is tremendous here in Military Strategies. Images of the incident. Images that we will keep seeing throughout the afternoon, throughout the night, because this is astonishing. On October 7th that day, the day when Hamas had an air wing with paramotors, with paragliders, they began to attack and invade the state of Israel. Young people who were at a party were massacred. Women were raped, mutilated. There are images, there are videos, there are statements during interrogations about what they did to the women. And now the world is wondering, why does Israel have to eliminate the terrorist group Hamas? Nothing more, nothing less. Welcome to Military Strategies. It's a very important, very critical moment for Israel's security. There has already been a statement from Israel Katz and Bibi Netanyahu. Both of them together have also made an official statement about what happened here. There is a 99% chance that the leader of Hamas has been eliminated. Exactly. When it becomes clear that Hamas is not going to disarm, that they are not going to lay down their weapons, that Israel also controls 60% of the Gaza Strip, no more and no less, 60% of the Gaza Strip. It's something to see, share, and experience. Everything that's happened in these nearly 3 years feels like it was just yesterday, as if no time has passed. When it all began, this hell, and when we saw such horrific images. Horrific. The images from Nova are just horrific. I was there recently, recording new content to prepare and broadcast someday. And those victims deserve justice. Each and every one of those involved in October 7 who are still alive, there are still many alive. They have to pay for what they did. Justice has to be served. It's undeniable. Families should be able to rest knowing justice was served for their loved ones. Some could only bury a box because there was no body at all. And that's where you have to realize exactly what's happening and what's going on. No one likes it. Israel doesn't like being at war. And it also happens in a scenario where the Hamas organization has been funded, expelled from Qatar. The United States is going to outlaw the Muslim Brotherhood, which is the ideological core of the movement. We are in a war in Lebanon. We will also see images of what is happening in Lebanon in a few minutes. About to begin the operation against Iran, because an attack against Iran is going to be launched. You're going to see it. Israel's Minister of Defense, Israel Katz, under the direction of the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and myself, the IDF is now striking in Gaza against the mass murderer al-Din al-Haddad, the leader of the military wing of the terrorist organization Hamas, and one of the architects of the October 7th massacre. Haddad was responsible for the murder, kidnapping, and wounding of thousands of Israeli civilians and IDF soldiers. Thank you. He kept our hostages in cruel captivity, launched terrorist attacks against our forces, and refused to implement the agreement led by the President of the United States, Trump, to disarm Hamas and make the Gaza Strip a demilitarized zone. The IDF and Shin Bet are effectively implementing the government's policy of containing threats and preemptively thwarting our enemies. We will continue to act forcefully and with determination against anyone who took part in the massacre of October 7th. This is a clear message to all the murderers who seek our lives. Sooner or later, Israel will get you. Message from the Israeli Minister of Defense to all enemies, to all those responsible for October 7th. Fade to black for the leader of Hamas. Tremendous. What we're seeing and what's happening is enormous. Nothing more, nothing less. That's right. Now they'll put someone else in. It's no big deal. Israel will take him out again in a few months or even days. I think this is going to speed up. Also, Netanyahu said yesterday or the day before, well, we're controlling or we're gaining control over the Gaza Strip. What's going to happen now is that maybe we're going to take the whole thing. Keep in mind the scale. Okay. The scale. Pensaban, they thought they were going to get away. As we're about to see on the map, they've gradually created a kind of Gaza within Gaza. Israel controls 60% and also controls the most critical parts, or some of the most critical parts of the Gaza Strip. We're going to see it here. Israel has total control over the Rafah area. So no smuggling gets in there. Nothing comes in, nothing goes out. Stuck. They have control over the eastern area of Khan Yunis, meaning all this area we see here is controlled almost at the entrance to Khan Yunis. That's where the yellow line would be. Over this sector, this whole area of Bani Suhaila, the yellow line area. They are right now between the IDF and the sea. There's nothing else. The only place they have left that's more or less standing is Deir, al-Balah, which I also think surely what happened this afternoon, evening, or what's happening right now is in that area, over that area, and now we'll try to geolocate. It's very likely that what we're seeing is just the effect, nothing more. Of the military operation, which still hasn't ended. There were people who said the war in Gaza is over. No, the war in Gaza is not over. It's not going to end, not in any way. The whole area that we think is going to stay like this, it's not going to stay like this. Israel is going to clear out all of Gaza, and it has to clear it out and do it with overwhelming force. What remains is still the most important part. The area we're seeing here. The yellow line is here on Salah al-Din Road, the one that crosses the Gaza Strip from north to south. This area is vital for them. It's vital. That's where their operations center is, where they still control buildings and houses. Also Gaza City. Israel was about to capture it. Again, before Donald J. Trump came in and said, well, let's stop. They stayed at the doors of Father Romanelli's church, our favorite priest in the Gaza Strip, you know. His church is around here. It hasn't been touched, despite what Romanelli says. The church, that building you see down there. Romanelli is wrong. The church remains untouched. We already proved it then. Not by the IDF, but likely by Hamas, but not by the IDF. They still have this neighborhood, the Christian Quarter. They have this whole inland area left. But of course, look, the number of tents, the number of civilians there are, we have moved 50% of the population to the remaining 50% of the Gaza Strip. Well, no. The remaining 40% of the Gaza Strip, it no longer exists. Beit Hanun, in fact, I was there, as I said, on my last trip to Israel. During the war, I visited some areas. Beit Hanun is already completely demolished. Nearly 100%, just a few buildings remain, especially in the area. In this area here. There are still some buildings in ruins. Everything is ruined. Everything is in ruins. Only the hospital remains of Yavalia, European. From where I stood, I could see the European hospital with everything around it destroyed. And now the trap is shut and waiting for the final moment. When will the final moment arrive? Possibly, very likely, it will arrive when the issue with Iran is over. We have to finish off Iran first. That's what's important right now. And then Gaza. Complicated. I mean, the Iran issue, the Gaza situation isn't complicated. Actually, much easier. Plus those gaps. More about the past corruption. No complicated. It's a war more than just watching this. What you're seeing here used to be a school. It wasn't just a school, it had tunnels. Besides tunnels, it had terrorists. You have to go house to house. It's one of the topics that I've always talked about it, despite everything they say in the news about why Israel destroys so many houses in Gaza, why there's all this total devastation. The devastation is happening because these guys enter civilian houses. They barricade themselves in there and stay there, given what we're seeing. This is the scene of the incident. It could be Gaza City. Most likely it's Gaza City, an area that wasn't very affected, more towards the interior. Goodbye. Probably, judging by the images here, we know it's Gaza City because some buildings are damaged. And there have been clashes.